Hello. Welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers, and it is Team Member Week. I have a very awesome, hype team member with me today. I have Kayla Clay!
Yay!
Yay! I'm so excited to have you here today.
I am very excited to be here.
I know. And I have a soft spot for Kayla because Kayla came in to Rogers at a time where we were in a different building.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot less people.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot less organization. Super unorganized. And you just roll with the punches, and it is so awesome to see where you are today. And I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too.
Yes. So I like to ask, what your background is, what you did before you joined Rogers, and then what led you to Rogers.
All right, so my first job ever was at Subway.
Yes.
And I was there for like a year and a half. And then I went to work at a convenience store, and I was there for about a year and a half. And then I moved out on my own. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I could not do this working part-time. So I was like, I need a full-time job. And I'm just sitting there looking. And my mom saw it on Facebook that y'all were hiring.
Yeah.
And I sat there and looked into y'all. And at the time, we had no social media.
Right.
We had nothing. And it was just this small little company. And I was like, well, they look like nice people. I was like, I'm going to go interview with them. And y'all called me in for interviews. And I was just so nervous.
Yeah.
And here I am now.
Yes. And when you came in, you had 2 interviews, right?
Yes.
2 interviews. And so the first interview, you're like, look, I'm just looking for an opportunity. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'm like, I like this girl, Joey. I like this girl. He's like, okay, call her in for a second interview. And then, we interviewed you again. And I'm like, I have to have her. And your first day, we had no idea what you were supposed to be doing.
No.
It was we answered the phone, Rogers Heating and Cooling, how can I help you?
And that was all I knew how to do.
Yeah.
I could barely do that. I'm like, thanks for calling Rogers. This is Kayla. How can I help you today? Okay, please hold. That was it.
I wish we could go back. Because when you started, I'm like, I'm going to make her great. I'm going to make sure that she is great. And I knew, when I told you to get on the phone for the first time, your face, went white.
Yes.
You have ghosts, what? I'm going to do this today. And I was like, you're going to do great. I'm here to help you. And you were right. You would answer the phone and be like, please hold.
Yes.
Please hold. Please hold. And I'm like, I'm here. I got you. But I wish we could listen to those calls.
Me too.
Because they were rough.
Yes.
But the customers were understanding.
Yes.
But I think your first week is when we came up with the new way to answer the phone, and it's not what it is today. What was it?
It was, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Okay, so it's a great day at Rogers. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
And that was okay with customers. It kind of threw them off. I went ahead and got their name, but the way we do it now is so much better.
So much better. We've come a long way.
Yes.
But that was a huge win back then. We're like, okay, listen to us being professional.
Yeah.
And then you just continue to grow and continue to just learn everything. I mean, because it was only you for a while.
Yeah.
How long was it just you? Was it?
It was 2 weeks. It was just me and you.
That's right. And so you had that 2 weeks, and then we started adding people, and we were in a super small building. Because when you started, you were at the front desk. Mm-hmm. And then when we left that building, how many people were around that table?
It was 4 or 5 of us around the conference room table. And then we had someone at the desk. We had you were in Joey's office.
Yes.
You, Joey, and Justin were all in one office.
It was wild.
It was awful.
I mean, we had one bathroom for 10 people? Was it 10 people?
It was that, and then the field techs that came into the office, and everyone just shared that one bathroom.
It was so bad.
And
it was okay,
yeah.
But it got tight.
Yes.
It got really tight in that office, and you just rolled with the punches. Mm-hmm. You're like, you know what? We're going to make this happen, and we moved into this office, and we've already grown out of where the Opportunity Center was in here, and now it's much bigger. But you've been a huge, I look up to you because you inspire me, because seeing you go from not being able to answer the phone to where you are now, and how you're able to handle objections, how you're able to keep people on the phone that may want to cancel their service, and you're able to turn it around and make that experience better for them. It's inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, because you deserve a lot of credit. And the way that you're able to say, you know what, I want to grow, and you've been so open to growing in whatever is needed, that now you're dabbling and getting into dispatch, and you're learning that. So tell everyone, what's the difference between customer service, being a customer service representative, and a dispatcher?
Well, customer service, you're really more there for the customers and getting all that first time impression with them, making sure they're good, like get all their information, find out what's going on. And dispatch is really the back end of it, making sure that their schedule is good, making sure we're getting there on time, constantly communicating with them about parts and times and arrivals, and also really being there for the techs too, making sure their schedule makes sense, making sure they're hyped up, being their support system out there in the field. It's a lot of back stuff that you really don't see. But it's definitely challenging. It's a new challenge for me, having to shift my mindset and learn patience too. And that's the biggest thing that I'm having to work on now, moving into dispatch, is learning patience, because sitting there, I want it to be done like yesterday, and I have to take a moment and look at the overall big picture and just taking that step back. And that's something new for me. Like with customer service, I'm just very go, book the job, get it, and then I'm not worried about it anymore. And now I have to be worried about it. So that's a huge difference.
And you're taking it with stride, and it can get frustrating sometimes.
It definitely
when
is.
Everything's moving around, but you're handling it, and you're growing in your patience. And so, what do you feel like has made you the most successful at Rogers?
The support system.
Okay.
And I'm given all the tools I need to succeed. Without everyone in the company, especially y'all in leadership, everyone being able to help me. I can come to y'all anything, personal, professional, work related or not. Everyone is there for everybody. Like I can tell you sometimes I just come in here rant and I'm like, okay, I'm good. So
we do that a lot around. It's like, don't mind me. I'm just sitting here and I just need a minute. And we all do that. And it's such a great environment to be able to have that support system. And that's across the board. And I mean, you guys support me and we support you, and that's how it's supposed to be. So what is it like to work at Rogers?
Very chaotic sometimes. Like you have your good, you have your bad. That's anywhere. But be grateful for the good when the bad does come. Like we constantly working, constantly playing. Like when it's super, super busy, after we get a moment, we'll calm down, just take a breath. Constantly, like we'll just break out and dance all the time. I mean, we were having a really rough day in the office last week, and up on the screen we pulled the beach up and we started playing ocean noises, and for 10 minutes pretend like we were in Hawaii. And it was so relaxing for those 10 minutes. And then we went right back to working.
I walked in on that.
And
I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. And it's nothing, I love when I hear the music in there, because I'll be in my office and then all of a sudden I'll hear some like T-Swift or something like that. And I'm like, get up. And I just see everyone dancing in there. I'm like, let's go. So it's so fun. And you guys have built such a great environment in there. And so you're growing in the Opportunity Center, and you have grown a lot since you started here. So what is your goal in the Opportunity Center, and what is it like to work beside Kayla?
I have lots of goals here. Right now, I want to learn and understand dispatch. It's kind of something recently I've learned that I've wanted to do. So I'm dabbling into this, getting this understood. And then my I would say semi-long-term goal, like 5 to 10 years, is to be a CSR and dispatch trainer.
Yeah.
Like, train everyone that comes in here, and we constantly train every single day.
Yep.
And I want to be the person, like, okay, we spend 10 minutes together working today on this, and just constantly improving people. Like, when I first started here, I said I wanted to be a teacher.
Yes.
And I don't have patience for little kids. So I was like, how can I incorporate that here? And just that thought of teaching and helping people, that's my long-term goal.
Yeah. And that's what people don't understand when they come into this field. It's like there are opportunities here. If you love teaching people and coaching people, you don't necessarily have to be a teacher in a school system. Like there are so many opportunities here to do that. And so I can't wait to watch that, happen for you. And you are well on your way. I know we just had your kind of check-in one-on-one goal-setting meeting last week, and that's going to happen for you. It's going to happen, and it's so cool to watch. And so going off of that, knowing that we are going to be bringing a lot of new people in and having to train a lot of people, what would you tell anyone that is interested in starting a career in this industry, this fast-paced, crazy, fun, and challenging industry?
Do it. You only live once. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very fast-paced, and you have to be able to keep up. And even when you don't keep up, like, sometimes it's okay to step backward and then to take 2 more steps forward. Like, that's okay. And just constantly moving and growing is the biggest thing. Constantly learning is my favorite part about this job too.
So true. And if someone comes in here and starts in the Opportunity Center, they're like, that is the place. If you want to get into this industry, like start in the Opportunity Center because you will learn like everything. And then you can pick, kind of where you want to go from there. But it is the best place to start is the Opportunity Center because you talk to all the customers, you talk to all the technicians, you get to know what HVAC is and plumbing and electrical and what everything means. Like, we are badasses.
We really are.
Like, we are. And so you have been in the Opportunity Center. Everyone looks up to you in the Opportunity Center. What does that mean to you to be looked at as a leader in there?
I don't really know. Like, I don't think of myself like that. Like, I'm just there to help and train. And that's really what I want to do is help and train, help the customers, help my team members. Like, I don't really see myself as like a leader almost.
Yeah.
I never really thought of myself that way.
Yeah, you're just like everyone else and there to support. You're definitely that. You're a leader in my eyes.
Thank you.
And you really do step up and help everyone. And something about Kayla, when there's a new person about to start in the Opportunity Center, she's always the one coming to me like, what can I do? How can I help them? What would you like me to do their first few weeks here, their first few months? And so you are definitely a leader in my eyes, Kayla.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And so what motto do you live by? Do you have a motto that you just stay in your head?
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yes. You only live once, so why not try new things? Why not?
Yes.
Like, just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. And it doesn't matter the age either.
No.
It's like, take chances.
Yes.
My grandparents just moved here to Virginia from Florida, and they are in, my grandmother's in her mid-80s, and my grandfather's in his 90s, and they just uprooted their life from Florida and moved to Virginia. It's like, that is YOLO.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, make a change if you need a change.
Yes.
I love that motto.
Yes.
So, I know we talked about it a little bit, your current goals. What is one goal that you've achieved here so far that you're like, yes, I'm so excited that I achieved this?
Leveling up through our trainings. Like, that has been my favorite journey through here is seeing how I started not being able to answer phones, and now where I am today, like having all the tools to constantly help people, making sure they're 100% taken up and they're not happy, finding out why they're not happy and make them happy.
Yes.
Like that, growing through my training and leveling up has been my favorite thing.
Yes, and you're doing such a good job, and you are going to get to that next level.
Yes.
So the question I always ask, if you could have dinner with one living person outside of your family, who would it be?
Rainn Wilson from Dwight from The Office.
Why?
Because The Office is my all-time favorite show ever, and he's just a really cool person overall, I think. Like, he does a lot of stuff good for the world, too, like, besides that, and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would just be fun just to figure out a sit-down dinner with who he is, and I feel like that'd be funny, hilarious, life-changing.
It would be. I've never watched The Office. What am I missing?
Everything. It's hilarious. It is like, so, you have to have like a dry humor for it.
Yeah.
But it's very funny.
I'm going to have to do it.
You have to
do it. Let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
I'm going to bring my phone out. Are you ready for some rapid fire?
I am ready.
Okay. What has been your favorite age so far?
21.
21. Why?
Because that's where I am now. Like, I've just learned a lot, like, the past few years.
You have. You have grown so much. What is your go-to lazy dinner?
Mac and cheese and chicken nuggets.
Always.
Yes.
Oh, we need to talk about, like, what are your favorite things ever?
Chicken nuggets.
Yes. And cows.
Yes, cows. Love my cows.
Cows, everything. What's your favorite thing to do in the summertime?
Relax by some type of water.
Talking about chicken nuggets, what is one of your nicknames?
Little chicken nugget. That's what I was called in high school.
Let's see. What item is worth spending more money on?
I would say clothes. You need nice clothes.
I agree with that. Is your bed made right now?
Yes.
Oh, you make your bed every day?
Every day.
Really?
Yes.
Good for you. If you could afford any car, which one would you drive?
Probably like a Tahoe or a Suburban, like something big.
Yes. Let's see. What dish do you cook the best?
Probably some type of like casserole in a crock pot.
Yeah, you bring in good stuff all the time. Let's see. I'll ask one more. Who is your favorite Disney character?
Belle, because she's the only princess with brown hair, and I just really love her.
Great answer. Belle is great. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you do for Rogers and for everyone around you every day. We appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to continue seeing you grow.
I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Yay, let's go! Thank you, Kayla, and thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I can't wait to talk to you next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Continue rating, reviewing, and subscribing, and watching, and listening, and doing all of the things, and we will talk to you next week.